Hello and welcome back to the last week of the Oceanic Challenger Series. I have been your host all season long, Bryce, E.G. and Paul. Benji, friend of the show, been around a couple of times. Yeah.
Not enemy of the show?
Enemy of the show. You can be enemy of the show if you want.
Might be the enemy, who knows?
Yeah, filling in for today.
Yep.
Co-caster, unfortunately, a little bit unwell.
It's unfortunate. Last minute, you know, I've sort of just jumped in. I've been like, oh, there's a space. And slide right in.
I feel like, yeah, that's the Benji way. There's a hole in the broadcast. It's like...
I plug it.
Yeah, okay.
On the camera, behind the scenes.
Okay, that's a good strategy. You got your leather jacket on?
I do. I'll usually...
You're ready.
Obviously, people have seen me before. I usually have my nice suit jacket on, but this is just last minute. It's like, what am I wearing today? This is apparently my natural look, and we're just going with it.
This is it. Yeah. A bit of a contrast between like the buttoned-up shirt,
Yeah,
the
you look
sweater,
professional. I'm just like...
And then like
I'm going to go to a biker gang after this and hang out with them for a while.
Yeah.
Maybe hit off a pub, you know?
Yeah.
Different looks, but that's okay. Contrast is fine.
Yeah, look, that's fine. Contrasting opinions today. Will be interesting to see how we stack up for today's games. We'll bring up the schedule on your screens right now to take a look at what has happened over the course of the split, where people are sitting, and what the last week is going to look like. So, first cab off the rank, Legacy Genesis versus the UTS. This is their last chance to get a victory in this split of the OCS. Definitely wanting to get on the board there. AV Academy versus Union for game number 2. And then we kind of get into what I'll call...
the important games.
Yes, the important games, right?
Yes.
Like there's a lot of people in the middle
Legacy
of the ladder.
Mprox and Dire Cubs have locked. That's going to be a great game. And then you got Bombers, you got Order, you got Gravitas, you got Chiefs, and those teams, they're fighting for these spots in these playoffs.
Yeah, certainly the case. A lot of muddiness as you head into the middle of the ladder. Of course, yeah, as you mentioned, Bombers versus QUT, Gravitas Academy versus Mammoth. A tough game, but a good one nonetheless, I expect. And Chiefs Academy versus Order Academy are going to round out the day. So, yeah, it's kind of nice. I was saying this to Max last weekend, that like you can kind of get into different situations as you tread onto the back end of the season, where you have a week of just like, oh, these are all dead rubbers. Like, top is playing bottom, and it's just like, okay, who really cares? But, yeah, we have some pretty high stakes on the cards here today.
Yeah, most leagues, I say most, I think I've seen a lot of leagues in Oceania over the years. I've been here a while. But a lot of them, at this point in the season, it's like, who's getting the seeds, right? Like, it's first versus second seed, or fourth versus fifth seed, and usually the lock playoffs are locked. Here, there is some seeds to play for, right? That's not locked down yet, and seeds do matter, because the top two do get those bye rounds in the final period, final block. But also, there's still 4 teams that could or could not make it. Yeah. So very important games for them.
Yeah, certainly, because as top 6 progress, there are 4 teams, as you mentioned, sitting on like two of them sitting on 6 points, 2 of them sitting on 5 points, and certainly have something to play for. I don't think we've gone over the playoff format. No. I guess publicly on broadcast, but yeah,
I'm the league ops guy, so I know this. So it's very similar to the NALCS playoff gauntlet format, where essentially you've got 3rd versus 6th, 4th versus 5th for the first round, and then the winner of those 2 games go on and plays 1st and 2nd. So by playing 1st and 2nd, you've guaranteed top 4. You let the other teams eliminate themselves, and you also get a bit of like prep, because you get to watch their playoff games and see how they're going. So big advantage. But then they still have to beat them on the road. Yeah,
because the big thing also is that it's single elimination, right? Like there's no losers bracket, there's nothing like that. So a bye just effectively eliminates 1 week of play where you could just drop out of the tournament. So yeah, there's that advantage, as you mentioned, just having tape to look at of your opponents. Yeah. And kind of like
you have to rest up and do some scrims, because I mean you've better behind the scrims, but if you've had that off week, haven't you?
Before like finals,
OPL and stuff.
Yeah.
What's that week like for you as you scrim?
Well, it's difficult, I think.
Yeah?
Certainly, like, depending on what teams are still available to play, like, just in terms of, like, finding strings and being able to practice, and then, like, you do kind of go from a season of heavy play to learn to, like, this kind of week, and, like, you tread onto the back end of the season of, like, viewing to learn, right? Like, you're trying to solidify what you are looking to do with the back end of the split, and then just, like, accounting for what your opponents show on the day.
Yep. Right, we're in the first draft here. Legacy versus UTS. Now, this is... UTS here, 0-10 means they're not making playoffs. But there is a difference to me in finishing 0-11 and finishing 1-10. A big difference. I would
100%.
say that of the teams playing today, the playoff team's very important, but UTS
something to prove. Win. Yeah, 100%. And also, I did hear behind the scenes about 2 minutes before we came onto broadcast. Cheeky little story. Peekaboo barely made it into the champion select today.
Oh, was he a bit late, was he?
Yes, I was told he got locked out of his room. So must be, you know what I mean? Like uni campus, staying at the dorm, like whatever the housing is. And they had Fuzzy Zola, their ex-mid laner, their substitute ready to go.
That's sub ready to go.
Yeah. So look, they followed all the rules. I feel like you're a stickler for the rules. You can get behind following the rules.
I can appreciate a team. So you know, I'm going to go behind the scenes tonight because I like to talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of the time with these, there's a lot of behind the scenes almost made it stuff that you don't hear about, trust me. But a lot of the time, there isn't that sub waiting for them.
Oh,
so mad props for UTS because every team has subs, but like, is the sub online on his computer? Does he have a patch tournament realm? Is he ready to sub in if needed?
Yeah.
Because most subs are like on Wednesday, obviously, oh, we need you today. Can you log on and do it? That's fine. But the fact that he was ready and willing to go, that's very impressive.
That's respect. That's commitment. That's commitment to the cause. And yes, we are into draft. Going through the bans already. Zoe, Mordekaiser, Kiana, 2 new champs. I say new, I guess, in quotations with Mord.
It's rework, but it feels new.
Newish, right? Interesting to see that he did get banned. Last week in the OCS, we did see a lot of bans, but not a lot of play. And then it was open a few times. We saw a single game, and we were kind of questioning, this is the first time we have seen him on the table. Like, is he going to be hugely impactful? Surprisingly, no. We saw him played in the OPL as well, and it seems like one of those things where, like, he was super OP in solo queue. Everybody's like, man, this guy's busted. He's so hard to deal with. And then got to competitive. And even listening to, like, OPL coach interviews, they're just like, look, I don't think people know how to play this very effectively in a team environment. Like, we don't think he's really up to scratch, so it's banned away.
Let's go through the other picks quickly because we're still catching up here. Aatrox, Jarvan picked up here, and then Lux, and then Caitlyn, and looking at Volibear here for this. I want to touch a little bit on those new champion reworks because, I mean, those champions do see a period where they are new and they are banned a lot. You see it in general. Yeah. But they are played, like, then you see sort of the dip, I feel, when players kind of like, okay, they're not OP, let's let them through. Yeah. No one's figured them out yet.
Yeah, nobody's like solidified, like, I'm a Mord player.
Yeah, like Zoe was like that for me, where Zoe launched and people were banning her and they let her go for a bit. And I think there was like a week or two in the OPO when no one played her, and then everyone played her.
Yeah.
And she was strong. And then back to permaban. Like, it's just that rotation. And Kiana, I think, will be a bit like that.
Yeah, okay. So when you said looking at Volibear, I was like, huh, yeah, okay. But actually going to get locked in.
I've watched enough OCS to know that this is where the pocket picks come out. Like,
or last week.
I mean, it might not be meta, but if you've played 400 games of Volibear, your Volibear is going to be better than your Jarvan when you play 20 games on it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Like, I'm not actually entirely sure where this is going to go. We did see some Volibear played in the support position in LCK last week. I was hearing a few rumors of that one.
Where do you think it's its natural role right now? If you're like, there's a volley in this game, pick a lane.
Well, like, it's either top or jungle, really.
Okay.
Like, are you aware? Say again?
You don't think Lux is mid?
I mean, Lux could be mid, given that they've like given over the Tahm Kench, because that is a big trade right now. It's like support Karma, support Lux, support Tahm Kench, and one more. I'm blanking on a kind of like the big 4 that are just being traded back and forth.
Sure.
It could be like a bait and switch. Pick Lux, throw it into Tahm Kench. I would like that. I feel like top lane would probably have a very rough time into the Aatrox.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it'd be good.
But like, because that's the other thing we really haven't touched on in this draft so far. Like, he's just huge power pick.
Yeah. Now look at the team right now for UTS. We're focused on the volley because it's a weird pick, but Aatrox, Jarvan, Tahm is like, to me, just like, oh, I don't want to do anything near that. Like, there's lockdown. Tahm's good at CCing and also saving. Aatrox getting in there. Jarvan is great engage.
Yeah, because like in the isolated 3, you're looking at it, it's like, wow, that's a really good team fight. You can pick whatever AD carry you want, and in this case, they go for the Ezreal. So now it kind of lends itself to, do they play like a split pushing side mid laner, and then you have the Tahm Ezreal. This is like a classic Tahm Ezreal 1-3-1 comp. UTS kind of expanding what looked like a heavy team fight brawly situation here, and that is a Riven. This is a comp. This is a comp and a half.
Could you move Aatrox mid and have Tahm top and then still pick a support, or do you think it's a bit weird?
Like, you can.
Okay. I mean, you're allowed to, but
yeah.
You can do whatever you want, let's be real.
You can. It would be a choice.
Okay.
This Amumu hover has happened the entire draft.
That must be a bit of like an insider thing. Maybe like there was a scrim sometime where they picked Amumu and it was just like not good. So they're just like, remember the Amumu?
Yeah.
Maybe a bit of mind games. I can appreciate mind games.
I actually really like champ select BM that isn't super public. And our Frolic's gone for the Amumu hover, so I like that. Everybody's getting involved.
That's good. They're having a bit of fun. That's good. I think that's friendly banter as far as I'm concerned, because you can't type in champ select. Vladimir locked in. So
yes.
Jungle Volley, Riven top, Vlad mid. Okay, there we go. Okay, and on the other side, we're hovering brand.
I would expect Chungy would be the bigger Riven player in my eyes, but I'm blanking on if Appy has played a Riven game in the OCS. I think no.
Rumble
yes,
mid
that'll be Rumble mid.
Okay, all right.
So it's one of those kind of matchups where it was a top matchup, and then like one of them gets flexed to mid lane, and it's like top laners can just take TP and Rumble can be fine. It's not the first Rumble mid we've seen in the OCS. I think we have seen 2 over the course of the split. One of them was played Beats. Actually, I think he played 2 weeks in a row, very early on, but we haven't seen him for a while. Has been picked last couple of times at the top side, but yeah, interesting stuff so far, in all honesty. Coming into this last week, all the punches are being thrown. Standard-ish bottom lanes, but elsewhere on the map is just all up in the air.
You say standardish. I'm still getting used to Lux personally. I know it's played a bit, but
yeah, okay.
I'm not used to it being bot yet. I guess like Season 2, she was like mid a lot, and I was just, that's when I started playing. So.
Yeah, the big thing is like the support meta when, I guess like Lux came in a little bit before like the karma buffs and stuff like that, but when you go down that rabbit hole of like just extending the effective range of those champions, Lux is like the big thing that was overlooked for Lux was the return of a shield. Right, because you get the extra shielding on top of that one, and then you can just build like an Ardent. You have a super oppressive laning phase when you pair up with something like a Caitlyn, and then in a team fight, if you can actually land like a 4-man, a 5-man, even a 3-man is pretty good W over your team, then looking at the damage threats on the other side, that's Jarvan, Cataclysm, AoE, the red carpet coming from Rumble, you can deny so much damage, and oftentimes it does kind of seem like hidden power. Because in a team fight, you're looking at like the big damage abilities, the big CC that hits, that turns the tides, but having just a real fat shield just going over your team comp, then yeah, super impactful.
Yeah, I like UTS's comp. I kind of see what they're trying to do with it. It's very like you mentioned a little bit, go in, just get it done. And when you're 0 and 10, you kind of don't want to be playing too much finesse against teams that have proven they're better than you. So picking something that maybe they're comfortable champion-wise on, is kind of cool. But then Legacy Genesis, obviously. Now, this is the question for me. Like, if you're Legacy Genesis, you've locked playoffs. I guess they are playing for seeding. But like when you've locked playoffs and you're playing for seeding, you care, but you don't care as much as when you are, you know, fighting for that playoff clinch. Right?
Yeah. It's kind of...
There's a relief moment when you qualify for playoffs.
Yeah, certainly. There's that relief moment, but I think once you have, like, you add extra things into the mix that you have to think about. Like, if this volley bear just pops the hell off, then all of a sudden you're going into playoffs, and yes, people look at like the seeding at the end of the day, who are we facing off against, depending on where they finish as a different team at the end of the day. But then you kind of have to think about, like, is Volibear a problem? You're adding things that we talked about at the top of the day. Like, if you have that buy, if you're the first or second place team coming into this one, you have tape to watch. If you just add variance to your own tape while still securing wins, then just makes you kind of harder to prepare for as you track on into the end of the season.
Well, a little bit of CC on this invade here as they come in. I'm checking my lovely Foley sheet here. And the thing I'm looking at Legacy for in this game is if they lose, they can't get top 2.
Okay.
It's as simple as that for them. If they want to get top 2, and that's not even confirmed if they win this game, to have that chance, and it's going to rely on actually Dire Cubs as the threatening team there, they need to win this game. So this is the chance to get that buy into that first round.
Also opens up a lot more tiebreaker scenarios. In terms of the Foldy sheet, there's like probably...
Are they coming back next week?
Probably double the amount of games that change depending on if UTS actually pick up a victory here. This is...
Ooh, they're going to walk into the brush. There's CC going down. Damage follows. In fact, Legacy getting a lot of poke on Cadence. Tom going to go on the front. He blocks a lot of those skill shots.
Ooh, that was very nice.
K-pop takes a bit as well. So there you go. Traded damage.
Actually, a lot closer to an all-in than you might expect. Tahm Kench, incredibly good level 1. Given that they were kind of kept at bay by the Lux Binding, dissuades a little bit of that, but his Tongue Lash was coming up off cooldown maybe 1 to 2 seconds. And then because Cadence landed that last little Mystic shot, there was potential for the all-in, but given it is just a Guardian into the cleanse take there for Frolic, all-in potential is kind of dissuaded somewhat, and maybe not willing to commit his flash super early in a matchup where they expect to be pushed in.
They heal in. The real trade there was, look at the potions there, Ezreal popping his, and then Lux popping hers. Now, that to me is a big benefit for Legacy, because you want the AD carry to be pushed out of lane a bit, but still an Ezreal, he can sit back and Mystic shot.
Yeah, he can get potions of his own if he procs his Klepto and gets lucky.
Sure. And then obviously the Relic Shield on Tahm helps the sustain as well. So, you know what? Cool trade, but in the end, they probably just go back to farming.
Yeah, somewhat. Like the potions being gone, I guess, is impactful, and K-pop sort of baited himself, right? Like if we hone in on that little engage, like Caitlyn Lux will always win whoever face checks. If it's just like a Lux Q comes out, Caitlyn maybe 1 to 2 auto attacks a Q and you walk away. Because they like kind of committed, there was that little moment of stepping up into the 2 versus 2, then Frolic gets an extra auto attack off, and they just kind of bit off a little bit more, so he get punished a tiny little bit. But now, as you expect in this matchup, they have priority, pushing in underneath the turret, and Cadence starts chugging his potions. Yeah,
whenever I see junglers on opposite side of the maps, I feel like there's potential for a bit of chaos. Volibear is currently bot side, tracking down towards Dragon, and Jarvan is top side. He's going to get spotted out by this ward, though, so there's vision there for Legacy. So I'm looking here for where the plays are. Looking at these 2 junglers, they're both taking their crabs, because when they're on the same side, it often turns into a 2v2. They meet in the same lane, there's a bit of a skirmish there, but this is where the number advantages come from.
Yeah, at least Gets the Scuttle Crab, as you mentioned, but very nice bit of vision, actually, from both teams. The ward topside for Chungy spots exactly where the Jarvan is, and the Volibear was doing a crab in between two wards of UTS, so potential ganks are there. That's a turret shot that hits Peekaboo.
Well, that's a bad trade, in fact, following up there by Appy. Great sustain with the Vladimir, but Rumble popping a potion, going to stick around for a little bit more, but that's a bit of a disadvantage for him. He can't push forward as far with that now.
Yeah, a little bit of a mistake. Pops a turret hit to the face and burns his pot, whereas, as you mentioned, Appy still maintains the use of his. I guess the interesting thing to track on in this game is this Volibear and how successfully Lisa can make this one work. New change, I say new, is quite old, I guess, but Volibear just doesn't see a lot of competitive play. He got that little, like, grounded effect, right? And then you saw that small period of time where people see the change and play the champion to test out whether it's good or not, and he was picked into top laners with kind of dashes that you can ground. In this case, like, it is a jungler, but if you face check a Jarvan, being able to knock him out of the EQ combo, not entirely sure if it's possible, but I would expect so, coming out of Lisa, so extra utility and will be something to track as we head on forwards.
Oh, great find. That's a smart player. That teleport pops out the same spot every time you use it. You knew the timing, threw it out, free damage. Little things like that make me appreciate these players more and more every time. Solo queue, they'll throw it off anywhere. Anyway, Lisa coming around the backside here. Peekaboo's caught out. He's got his flash. He's going to flash. Wait, flash afterwards. There's a knock-up as well. Peekaboo going low. First blood goes down for Volibear.
Yeah, just a very easy gank. Ignite popped early from Appy. No flash needed from the Vladimir, but traded between the jungler. Peekaboo falls down and doesn't have TP, so that's a wave crashing into the turret already missed. First blood over to Legacy.
Yep, so that's not very good there for the Rumble player. He wants to start getting towards level 6, but dead before he hits it at level 5. He's still going to be impactful, though. Rumbles with their ult. If he can make some plays, he can come back in this one. Jarvan, you saw him running through lane there. It was just a little bit too late as well.
Yeah, it was like doing his wolves, I think, and then saw the play happen, and it's like, okay, I need to get in range, make something happen. That's a trap. That's a big chunk.
Wow, Frolic walking into that. When you pop that grey health into a shield, your recovery is very low. Now, Frolic's got to be very careful because, yeah, he's popping potions and getting a bit of health back, but now they sort of can't really engage on that point.
Yeah, because a couple of things to mention, right? Back on that mid gank, mid Rumble doesn't get as punished as top Rumble, right? The lane is shorter. You have earlier access to your jungler. I'm going to hold that thought as Spear may be caught out. Has no flags. The dash not up yet.
Well, people are rotating in. 6 players coming towards this position. Spear flashes out. Flashes forward. Riven goes down. So Riven gets the Jarvan.
Yeah.
Jarvan goes down.
Animation cancel. Ulti into Flash W from the Riven. Picks up a cheeky extra kill there. And yeah, just maybe a little bit of disrespect. Gets caught out in the jungle.
Yeah,
Crab went over to the Volibear as well.
Both mid and top there had lanes pushed forward. So there's no way on earth that Peekaboo or Midas was going to get there first. So the 1v1, sure, it might have been an even trade back and forth. We don't know. We didn't see it, but the Riven was way too fast there. Volley top here is going to... Wow, actually, that was very far forward. No flip, unfortunately for him. He's going on a turret. Low health, Chungy, flash forward. There's a kill for Midas, and he ults. He's going after him. He can't die here. He gets resurrected if he does. Lisa is in a ton of trouble as well, and he's getting chased down. Regeneration is popped. Frenzy Regeneration wait from the ult to Ed. There's the resurrection. Is he going to chase this one up, or is he going to back off? He's coming forward. He dies before he hits the Q. This is the second one, but he's going to back away, but gets a 1-for-0.
Yeah, and a straight up 2 versus 1. Chungy just a little bit greedy, baited into the turret, but on the other side of the map, Spear.
Okay, pop flashes away. Oh, gets the kill. Kaelin out of nowhere. Legacy turning this one around. Dragon flashes away and avoids all of it. He eats the wrong player, and they get away with their lives. Another 1-for-0.
Missing pinged by his opponents. When you go back and watch this VOD, I know that pain. That has happened so many times to me. Tahm Kench, Flash Devour, looking for the Lux. Unfortunately, finds his own ally in the Jarvan. No kill. And I guess the lesson of the day, 2 weeks in a row, is just don't gank lanes.
Don't
gank
gank
top,
lanes.
you die. You gank bot, your AD carry dies.
To be fair, top survived, barely.
Well, no, but that's what I mean. Like, Lisa got punished for the... I mean, like... His top laner died.
Yeah, he gets to CS afterwards. He gets to clean the wave up. So he's
did he?
He can get.
I feel like
he did.
Do bears slink? Because if bears slink, then he definitely slinked back to his jungle and went for the hard reset.
Well, Chungy and Midas fighting here. Midas has a lot of burst for those abilities, but I think kind of won that trade there a little bit.
Yeah. Chungy opted in for it. Better buy here for the Aatrox now that he turned that gank around. Has the Kindle Gem. Working on that first item completion, and also hasn't invested the extra call at 500 gold into the Doran's Blade that Riven did, so Chungy pops that one. Looking for a return into the mid lane. Peekaboo gets baited in.
Chungy coming forward, no flash, can't get in there. That's a bit of a walk away by Peekaboo. Pick him in a little bit more, though. Keep him on every step forward is a step you can't take backwards. So let's get away. Slowed his ultimate, I believe, though. So potential there. Here's UTS in the bot lane. They have Tom. They have ult on Tom, I believe. So
ulti in behind, and they are going to look for the play.
Oh, but there's Volibear as well. This is going to be a 3v3. Here they go. Jarvan goes in, trying to hit them. Binding goes down. They just blow up the jungler. He's slow coming out. He's going to try and run away. Everyone's sort of screwed. Ezreal's abandoned his teammates. Frolic trying to get away as well, but that CC from Legacy was just too much.
Yeah, and just super well played from the Legacy bottom lane. Sitting in a pinked bush, so they had no vision. They have to blind EQ forwards, bind into trap, takes down another. Lisa wants Kaden, still has the dash available.
Yep, he's also just zoning him off that wave, so doesn't get any of that experience. Going to clear the next wave as well. In fact, getting some little bounces there onto the Ezreal, but the tower's going to go down, and the Ezreal gets very little for it.
Yeah, super cute play there, actually. Jungler eats the wave so the Caitlyn can maximize damage on the turret. We'll be able to take this one down, and that's a 9 minutes, 40 seconds. All plates taken by the bottom lane. 2 kills in the hands of the Caitlyn. That's going to be a bunch of gold. Probably goes back and finishes his IE.
Yep, got 20 CS advantage as well, so that bot lane is well and truly ahead. This Legacy bot lane want to win this game. In the mid lane, though, Spear coming forward, looking for another gank. EQ comes down, ult goes down as well. K-pop coming from the bottom too, so all he has to do is buy time. If he can survive for a bit longer, he's got some backup. There comes oh wow, he's going forward. Lisa, what are you doing? He's going to try and get a kill. He gets one. He might pay for it with his life. In fact, he is going to. Teleport coming in. There's the Riven looking to fly as well. Low health, he gets in with the ultimate, and they're going under the turret. Aatrox takes a ton of damage, but with his ultimate able to revive, he's let go, and that is a 3 or a 2 for 1.
Midas has to cop the ace in the hole, and unfortunately that means the binding lands. Very easy cleanup off the back end, and Legacy want access to the second turret of the game. Very quick succession. Break bottom lane. Trap now lands time again. Frolic's going to cop it as they're looking to defend this one.
Yep, lots of shields coming out just to eat those tower shots as they poke away.
Happy
poking forward, going in. Wow, that's a low health eaten up by Tom. Low health on that Riven. She takes a few tower shots. Gonna dive away though. Everyone survives, but that mid tower looking a bit unhealthy.
Yeah, a little bit worse for wear there. You saw Appy, super crucial that he lands the Hemo Plague onto multiple targets in that gank. Getting back the extra health to be able to turn around. That one bottom lane rotates up. They are able to punish and take down 3 plates from this turret. We said we were going to track the Volibear. Looks like he's going for the Glory build, which I guess you would expect in this case. Has the Aftershock, so has those, I guess, false stats temporarily. All you need is to be able to find a single target, Swifty boots to amplify the move speed, and he just kind of zooms at someone. The rest of the boys pile on, and that's a composition.
Yep, so the Dragon here getting started by Lisa. Peekaboo coming in as well. Hasn't quite got the red carpet available, just coming up, but you don't really know that as Lisa when it's that shot on cooldown. You can't risk getting altered there. Rotating around the map, looks like the UTS squad going to come down for this Windrake. They want something on the board here.
Yeah, do they commit for it though? Jungler top side, I believe cleared his golems, now rotating down, but that is a fair while away. They had a little bit of time where their bottom lane was on the map before Legacies. They went back for the reset, got some super valuable items. IE completed as we expected, especially after those 3 plates, and a no boots Lux coming out. It's always a super good time as you back as a support and you can just afford too many things. You get to sacrifice boots. Very rarely does that happen, but K-pop's definitely living the dream.
Yeah, 1-0-4. Great scoreline. He's come to play today. He wants that top seed, or the second seed actually. Top seed is already locked up by Mammoth Academy, so this is them trying to get second seed as we continue this game here. More focus on this bot side around this dragon. Some Appy coming down.
Yeah, just get to the Scuttle Crab. Top side, I believe. The Rift Herald has been started and spotted by that ward on your screen right now. Midas knew what was happening, but fight in the mid lane.
Dude, trying to break out. There's the ultimate from Aatrox, looking to come in. Hits the Q on Dracon, following up with it. Flashes him out of range. CC under turret there, forces him away.
Chungy.
And they're going to turn it around. Chungy into the back line here. Red carpet goes down, catches Chungy. In fact, he Zonya's through that one. Hemo play goes down, catching a bunch of people, and Riven's cleaning up. That's 2. And they're looking to keep going. Legacy Genesis get the 3rd, and they're going to push for this mid turret.
And a huge punish from Legacy. UTS commit way too hard in the mid lane. The flanks from either side. Vlad from bot, Riven from top side. AoE galore, and they just get absolutely wiped. Second turret falls down. Rift Herald already started by the jungler, and Chungy wants more.
He does. He's going to chase Frolic out. Frolic is on the wrong side of the map here. He's going to eventually go down this Riven. Yep, there we go. Doing a bit of emoting. And, yep, there we go. Clears up the kill. 274 gold in his pocket. Legacy going to take this Rift Herald. That might be another tower for them at some point in the next few minutes as well.
Yeah.
They're looking to snowball this game well out of control.
This game is, you said it, out of control. Getting there. 7 say 8,000 gold is the lead, pre-15 minutes. Normally it's like pre-what? Pre-20 minutes? This is pre-15. Add another 5 to the clock. On a Caitlyn Lux composition as well, you always talk about the momentum of these guys. Can they keep the lane rolling? Well, absolutely yes is the answer. Drakon doesn't have vision of this bush, but very good awareness there. Traps off what Midas was potentially looking to flank around on.
Yeah. Now, they're at 9,000 gold lead, right? 15 minutes in, like you mentioned. Now, the fact of the matter is, I've seen games where at like 35 minutes, this is a big gold lead.
Yeah.
If you're UTS, I mean, what do you do? Do you have any, like, is this just all right, like, lose slowly and hold on? Do you need to play the glory plays?
I mean, I feel like most games this early in a deficit are lose slowly and then find something later, right?
Okay.
Like, you can't just fight uphill 9,000 gold disadvantage without like items. You don't hit breakpoints. It's very hard naturally in League of Legends to like close the map as it gets smaller and smaller because your enemies get like easier paths to walk through their jungle. So it is just about like playing the 1-3-1. Rumble can eat waves with his ulti. They do have some tools. Tahm Kench actually very useful, as with the Ezreal, in punishing side lanes that Legacy are now opting in for. They've broken the complete outer ring, so bottom lane goes mid, side laners go to the side lanes, and Tahm ulti, when you're behind, allows you to kind of equalize tempo somewhat, because they shouldn't be in a position where they like can gain, like be ahead in tempo, right? This is a significant deficit very early on, but you want that Leandris, you want Aatrox to get towards the cleaver, you want him to get to, oh, okay.
Oh no, that is not the dragon you want to be fighting over there, Spear. He engages, red carpet comes down.
Nice.
Looking to get something on the backside here. They're layering their CC, but their stats just aren't enough. Lisa as a front line is huge, but he is taken down by the Tahm Kench. K-pop clean up as well, and UTS finds something in this terrible game.
Yeah, and after I say that, straight up 2 picks. Appy topside, side laning, no TP. Vladimir can't be there, and Legacy, they actually forced the fight, so it's a very nice rumble lot. Corrals them against the wall, easily cleaned up by the rest of the members, and super valuable. The only way, like looking at the map stat, I was like, the only way you find picks is by like attacking the side lane, but if Legacy just give you the opportunity, it wasn't a Tahm ulti, it was just a straight up team fight, and yeah, they're able to find it.
At the numbers advantage, and in the top side here, you can see that Appy has actually pushed in this top lane, but the problem is Vladimir's auto attack damage is not super high.
Yeah.
So he can't punish the turret like someone like an AD carry or like some of the other split pushers can.
Yeah. Once you get like later on in the game and he gets towards decap, yes, but it's kind of interesting. Like ADs, of course, and it's I guess like a role discussion. Like everything they build enhances their auto attack. So no matter what item you're building on an AD carry, whether you're like a Triforce user, a crit user, it will be effective against a turret. But a lot of mage items are like balanced around the fact that they have abilities and actives, right? So Spellbinder, not super useful at hitting a turret compared to like a decap when you get that translation, but this is a fight.
It is a fight. In fact, Spear looking to catch on one there. K-pop caught out again. He's getting CC'd up, pulled straight back in. There's another pick for UTS.
Yeah, okay. So, good news stories right now. Legacy keep overextending with this one, unfortunately. Second death falls down for the Lux. This was a deathless bottom lane, and the last 2 plays has been caught out twice, unfortunately. I guess when your team miss position, supports definitely do cop it more often than not, going the movies.
Yeah.
You lose your move speed and you just kind of get sacrificed to the wolves.
It's fascinating because I see this a lot in like those solo queue games where you're 10,000 gold up, right? You don't know you're 10,000 gold up, but you know you're way ahead. But you play sloppily because like you can.
Yeah.
But you can't play too sloppily, otherwise stuff like this happens. Spear coming in again, ultimate goes down.
Here.
They're going to try and turn this one around. This might just be too much actually. UTS going to get picked off. Frolic on the backside trying to do stuff here. Does shield, but the rest of his team's getting chased away. Spear, flashed on, he's killed. Pickaboo, he's going to chase away next. There's the Caitlyn ult coming through. It doesn't even required as Volibear picks up the kill. And that is a clean 3 kills for UTS.
Legacy bite back. UTS once again. Looking for those picks. They get one in the jungle, look in the mid lane, but the collapse is incredibly swift. Time number 2 here for Legacy. Lisa gets his dancing shoes on. I don't know if out of all of the Volibear skins, this one would be the best dancer. I feel like unlikely.
Dancer?
Yeah. You see his moves? He got the moves out in front of the turret. Oh, see ya.
Yeah, he's dead. That was a very quick one. We've seen that all game. Lux hits a CC, and then that's just evaporated right there. And when you're picking up, you know, Athenes, and you've got the backside with the Vladimir, who's got the, what was that?
Spellbinder?
Spellbinder. He's actually not that much yet. But anyway, expects like full items completed, but just the Spellbinder.
Yeah, they'll have a lot of gold right now, winning a team fight, breaking a turret. Before they go back, that's a needless and large rod.
Yep, Peekaboo just poking out Chungy here. Chungy's not that threatened, or he's going to get chased on. He's going to go over this wall. That might have been a bit of an... I don't know. I don't like that ultimate. That's a bit over... bit optimistic, I think. You know?
Yeah, ambitious. Had the collapse. I'm not sure if they knew that the bottom lane was there, right? Like, you can't commit to that play.
Yeah, but I don't know how you catch him anyway.
Yeah, strict 3v3. But, I mean, you have Tar multi, so you can get over the top.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
So if you slow him enough, deal a reasonable amount of damage, then...
Yeah, okay,
that's for it.
Yeah, okay. I am proven wrong.
God View is a bait.
It is. Speaking of God View, position of the map, decent wards on the top side and bot side here for Legacy. Baron is coming up in 40 seconds, and then obviously Inferno in 55. How are you playing this match if you're them?
That's a Baron team fight. 100%.
Yep.
Set this one up, side lanes. You can see already Chungy goes bot, the other side of the map. They have their teleport down there. Not going to make the mistake they made earlier. Take an objective with your non-TP side laner on the other side of the map. So we're taking a look at the Tarm skin. This is not the one. This ain't it, Chief.
You don't like it?
Nah.
What's your skin?
The blue one.
The blue one.
Earth Tarm Kench. Tarm only has 3 skins. Default Tarm Kench, and then you just suck.
That's the Chef Tarm Kench, isn't it?
Yeah, no. This is the Chinese New Year Tarm Kench.
Oh,
which is not bad. It's definitely second, and then it's definitely second behind Earth
There's
Tarm
4
Kench.
skins in.
I mean, is default a skin, or is it default?
Isn't there the Pajama one as well?
Pajama one?
Wasn't that a thing, or am I thinking of someone else?
Pajama Lux is definitely on your screen.
Pajama Lux. Wasn't there like an April Fool's time or something? I might be wrong.
Is there?
Tweet me, tell me I'm wrong. Anyway, Dragon here. Looks like UTS going to take that one. Or try to take that one. They're positioning for it. Not the Baron. Maybe think they can pick it up for free quickly, but looks like actually Lisa on the top side might be caught out, but actually it's Midas that's caught out. He's getting poked down. He's ulted the Lux ult. Isn't even needed for that player, but the follow-up is required there. Jarvan taken out as well. Rumble follows. That's 3 already down. Tarm Kench trying to get away, but oh my gosh, Lisa flips him over his head. That's 4 dead, and they're looking to push up mid.
Yeah, this is an absolute stomperoonie. They look for the Infernal Dragon. Teamfight was not to be. Volibear definitely not the target you wanted to look for, and they find themselves stuck between a bear and the rest of his team composition. Chungy on the back lines. Cadence gets deleted.
Are death timers long enough right now? Are they going to push one, take the inhibitor, but can they keep going?
Nah, I doubt it. Be a very ambitious call. They've got their AD carry doing the Dragon as well, so I expect the reset and is going to be
reset Baron
the play here. But yeah, you'd hope so. Right now, that's going to be 3 items completed for Caitlyn at 20 minutes.
Yeah, vision-wise, you can see on the bot side, the UTS were making that play. You can see all the vision wards up. They were trying to do something around that Dragon. Didn't work out for them. They're now down, what is that, 13,000 gold?
1 million gold.
We should start talking about a percentage of their total gold. That's probably an easier way to describe it, as it is a large percentage of their gold.
Yep.
Chungy here is going to escape from that Tarm. And Appy in the bot side taking another tower. Next play, next fight, if it is lost by UTS, they are dead in this game. And they'll finish the tournament 0-11, which is not what they want. They want to show some signs of life at the end here. They're going to keep trying.
It's going to die.
Ultimate goes down, but not enough to really do much there. He's dead. Now they're 1 down on the map. Appy top side, or bot side takes a turret, and you can see them all running towards this Baron. They're going to clean vision out, and UTS, if they're going to make something happen, this is their last chance this year.
Yeah, they were looking to get the crab because they knew their vision would have just been eaten alive by Legacy. The one ward does stick. Shield coming out from the Lux, you saw the double on return, now has the Ardent Sensor, so this, despite having no mountains, does die reasonably quickly, but no members dealing with the side lanes. Appy left alone.
There's no rush here. Appy is just going to win the game for them, and they're going to chase him down. Cadence is caught out. He's getting poked as well. There's the ultimate from Volibear as he goes in.
Midas
turns it around, and there's a dive onto the AD carry. He's getting away, but I don't think there's enough stat points on these champions as they are getting turned on as well. They did get a great counter engage, but at this point in the game, with this much gold down, they don't have the items. There's 2 dead, and we already see Vladimir in the base prepping the wave, looking to take out the first of these 2 Nexus turrets. UTS not looking great, but you know who is looking great, and that's Legacy Genesis. They're heading into playoffs, they're getting a big win on the board, and they're looking to show that they're one of the best teams in this tournament.
Yeah, do they dive the fountain last regular week of the split? The answer is no. Lisa wants a pit. Oh no, he's got the dancing shoes on. Doesn't want any of it. Eventually they will hit the Nexus after a little bit of a dance party. Another binding lands, and oh, okay, counter kill.
They're getting a few kills back, but it's not enough. Nexus goes down, and Legacy Genesis do win the game, and they still lock in their playoff spot, but they're potentially now fighting for that 2nd place game. Yeah. We'll talk more on that later when we get to Dire Cubs, I believe.
Yep.
But that, to me, is a very convincing game by Legacy Genesis. Going to playoffs, I'm scared of them.
Yeah, certainly. There were a few moments, right? Like, to look at that victory, and like that was an absolute stomp. What can you take from it? Yes, they just demolished UTS. There were moments where they had that lead, and a couple of people caught in transition. But this is a volley bear comp. Haven't seen that one before. They pull this one out and looks pretty good. You know, it was an answer to the Jarvan very early. They had the collapse very early. This was like a standard sort of legacy stuff. They play like we're just top laners playing mid and top lane. We'll just pick that. We'll go everywhere. You don't know who's playing what role. Lock in the Riven. Looks good. And early lead just snowballed that one out quite easily.
Like the comfort picks as well. The volley bear was picked, which was, to me, the jungling was great. But obviously it looks great because you won the game, right? Like, even on a losing game, does it look weak? I don't know. But going to playoffs, being able to flex into these kind of roles makes your opponents go, do we need to prep for that as well?
Yeah. And that's it, right? Like we talked about it in draft phase. Like, yeah, they're just adding things to the pool you have to think about. So, Legacy, going to give them a big old circle in my book. That was...
we're going to fold the page over.
Oh,
so we've
okay,
got the foldy sheet. These are very delicate. These lines are like 3 millimeters big. So there's the foldy sheet. All of these results here are done. So we're down to this point here.
We've halved them.
I'm going to show you. I don't know if you can see it on stream, but there's a lot of colors there. We'll get into more details here. So next up, what do we got?
We got AV versus UQU, which obviously... half of the game's going to be removed after this one. But unfortunately, I have to tell the viewers, 10-minute break coming up. Trying to sort out the next minute.
Bit of a longer one.
Yeah, next game. Unsure what the reason is, but we'll get back to you once we do get back from this
one.
But yeah, go, you know what I mean? Grab some popcorn, grab some Maccas, get a beverage. We'll see you in 10 minutes.